house where they initially planned to stay the night. But since Janelle's house was packed full with her out-of-town relatives, Stacy and Susie decided to actually just head back to Susie's house to spend the rest of the night with her mom, Cheryl. This worked out great because Susie was super excited to show Stacy this brand new king-size waterbed she just got. And as the two were leaving, Janelle's mom heard Susie say, quote, "Follow me to my house," end quote, in which Stacy replied, quote, "Okay, I will." End quote. It's assumed that they both did in fact make it back to Susie's house, as both of their cars were parked in the driveway, as well as the rest of their personal belongings. But what happened after the girls got home has never been explained. This brings us to June 7th, 1992. It was now 9 a.m., so an hour past the time Stacy and Susie were supposed to meet up with their friends to go to the water park. This really worried Janelle because they were both really responsible and wouldn't just leave her without saying anything. So Janelle and her boyfriend actually went to Susie and Cheryl's home at 1717 East Delmar, expecting to find them there. Janelle noticed the front door was unlocked, so she went in, but absolutely nobody was there. It seemed really weird to her because all of their cars were still parked out front. Nothing really seemed out of the ordinary besides the front porch light being shattered. The bulb itself was still intact, but the glass lampshade that covered it was what was broken. So the next detail I'm about to say is a little odd, but I guess Janelle was barefoot at the time, so she and her boyfriend decided to sweep up the broken glass that was on the front porch and throw it away. It was an innocent thing they tried to do, but we would later find that this action would possibly destroy any potential evidence, as this was an active crime scene. As Janelle was roaming the house, she found Susie and Cheryl's pet Yorkie, Cinnamon, who seemed really agitated. And as Janelle was about to leave the house, a series of phone calls came through on the home phone, so Janelle answered. She said this person sounded like a teen guy, and he was saying some really disturbing sexual things, on top of profusely cussing. Every time the phone rang, it was this unidentified guy, and Janelle would hang up right away because what he was saying was very jarring. At the time though, Janelle really didn't think much of it because she remembered Susie complaining about similar disturbing prank phone calls ever since she and her mom had moved into the house in that spring. So without finding anyone, Janelle and her boyfriend left, and instead of going to Whitewater, they went to a local water park instead. On top of not showing up to the water park, Susie was supposed to call her close friend and co-worker Nigel, but she never did. When he showed up to find out what was going on though, something immediately stood out to him. Nigel described Susie as a creature of habit and said that every single day she would always park her car in the same exact spot in the driveway, which was under the carport. That morning when people started showing up to look for the three women, Susie's car wasn't parked in her usual spot. It was further up the driveway, which was not normal. Although alarm bells started ringing, Nigel was really hoping this would have a good explanation. Maybe someone else was just parked in her spot under the carport when she and Stacy arrived home that night after the party. But this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the disturbing mystery surrounding this case. A few hours later, Stacy's mom begins to panic as well. She wasn't able to get a hold of her, and she knew a couple of employees at Whitewater that confirmed